Hey, everybody. How you doing? I don't even have an intro happening because I forgot about where the intro's at on this thing because I put a new border up here. But how you doing? How you doing? How you been? How things going, right? Um, Today I got a weird topic. I want to talk about, tariffs being back and don't panic, lead your team through the storm. I think there's some things that could very well have an impact on you and everything else as we kind of move forward and have conversations here. But realistically, I'm coming here to answer questions, right? I know it's Monday. It's been a full day for me. It's crazy how full it's been for me. But I kind of been a little ghost because if you don't know, I'm working on a dissertation. So the dissertation has been crushing me in terms of time. Actually, to be really honest with you, the dissertation got me panicked, right? I'm gonna be real with you, right? It got me panicked, right? So it's just one of those things where I'm really confident about what I'm doing. But when I say to you, it got me panicked, it got me panicked. So do me a favor, say hi, call out, say you're here, where you at, where you from, all that kind of stuff. Throw that in the comments for me. Love to see that. But yeah, man, when I say to you that dang on dissertation then kicked my butt, and then it did a bunch of moving and different things like that. So, just a lot of little things going on at the same time, which kind of crushed my time. So I was just like, I don't know if I really can be around and do the show. I didn't have time to prepare things, and I wouldn't have done you justice anyway. So anyway, the point is, say hi in the comments if you're out there, but people will be able to see this recorded, and I'm really recording it so people can ultimately see it. Um, is what I normally do, so we're kind of good to go. Other than that, what's really going on outside of that dissertation? The dissertation has been interesting. That's been like the most interesting thing. I just finished a presentation about, actually, I can show you the presentation screen. I just finished the presentation about navigating, the hard truth about navigating executives. I'll show you the screen for that, and you can see what I just did probably less than an hour ago. Literally less than an hour ago. So, just jumped and did that. So the hard truth about navigating executives. I actually did that not too long ago, probably 30 minutes ago. I wrapped that up 30 minutes ago. So I did that for a PMI chapter. Maybe one day I'll bring this to us if you all are interested in that kind of stuff. But just doing things. If you haven't seen me around, at least you see me once a month because I jump on with Lee Lambert. That's the last remaining founder of the PMP. We jump on monthly. It's really the first Tuesday of the month we jump on. I don't remember what our topic is going to be the next go round, but you'll have advance notice, and I'm probably going to go ahead and make a few of these additional things actually happen, and then just come back around here more and more and more so we can be good to go as we start to change things. I see Eric over there. Hey, Eric, how you doing, man? I got D here. How you doing, D? Just saying hi to you all. So welcome, welcome, welcome. As usual, anybody else out there, just go ahead and say hi. So today, I just it's one of those things where, shoot, it's been a busy time. It's been a busy time. Y'all tell me what's going on with y'all. That's what I'm curious about. I'm more curious about what's going on with y'all and what's happening, right? How's life treating you? How's the market treating you? How's your jobs going? If you don't have a job, how's looking for opportunities going? Those kind of things are important, right? So just let me know how that's going for you. So hopefully it's going well. Get that CSM recently or certification recently. Let me know how you're working with it, how you're working it out in terms of your what you're doing. That'd be great. So just drop that kind of stuff in the chat, in the comments. That'd be amazing. Also, make sure you like it here, so then we can be good to go. I'm gonna do my normal thing here, and I'm gonna talk about a few items just off the top of my head, like I do. Um, and probably the biggest thing that has been going on for me, at least in terms of every time I turn on the TV, like y'all, it's been these dang on tariffs, right? Today I heard something even more interesting, which would make this a really interesting topic. Um, and again, this is not political whatsoever. I'm not paying enough attention to this stuff, but the tariffs I know got a bunch of people shook. I just recently heard about using the El Salvadorian prisons for homegrown people. And that sounds like citizens. I know a bunch of people may have laughed about that, but that is going to shake up. people quite a bit too. So that's an interesting thing. So here's the deal, right? Let's talk about at least the uncertainty with tariffs. And here's my statement to you, and I got to be real clear about this. You know, for me, the shakeup in the market, the shakeup when it comes to tariffs, to me, whenever uncertainty rise, that is an opportunity for you to take advantage of something. You understand where I'm coming from? It really is. So, hey, Patrick, how you doing, brother? Man, I'm good. I'm good. For real, for real. I'm really good. Let me know how's it going with you, seriously. But literally, when I think about tariffs and I think about all the shakeup that's happening, my question for you is simple. How can you turn this uncertainty into a catalyst for whatever it is that you want to do? Like, I think about Patrick here, for example. Patrick is doing consulting and starting consulting business, that kind of deal, right? Is there a way that Patrick could utilize what's happening with the tariffs, especially with the fact that we're involved in something that deals with uncertainty, right? When you think about Scrum and Agile and the stuff that we do, it is highly dealing with uncertainty, right? And in certain companies, they're going to be impacted way more by this tariffs thing, which means this is to me the perfect place to kind of use this as a stimulus package for yourself, right? Yourself, the company you formed, whatever that is, because I think that there are going to be opportunities out here that if you're not kind of trying to find where those opportunities are, you're going to miss them. Does that make sense? And so, with high uncertainty, there's always opportunity. I mean, there's opportunity to lose big as well. But I think we offer services where you can actually win big. And I'm real curious how you all are thinking about that, right? Because I think that this is a really important thing, right? And so I see Eric, the stock market is going great for him, but I'm talking about beyond the stock market. Right? I'm talking about beyond these things that we see. We know tariffs could have an impact on some of the things that you buy for sure. Um, but I'm not thinking about the commodities or the things you're gonna spend money on, right? I'm thinking about the companies that provide these things, right? And they're gonna have impacts and changes, right? That we need to that we may have a way to service those companies that are being impacted in some kind of way by tariffs. And I think it just takes a different way of thinking, right? Um, and so, my thought process and the reason why I really brought this topic up is because I really do think, y'all, I'm just being honest. Maybe I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. I think there's a big opportunity for us as people that is involved in a framework, um, a set of values that actually deals with uncertainty, right? I mean, it deals with uncertainty in, really amazing ways, right? And so I'm just curious how you can take this and turn this into an opportunity for yourself, right? It's one of those things where, if I wasn't working on this PhD, I would definitely be trying to find ways to deep dive into these opportunities. But I was thinking about this, like literally yesterday. Like yesterday, it kind of hit me, and that's the reason why I went ahead and scheduled the show because I think that's something that we need to talk about. And, y'all tell me, am I talking way out of left field? If I am, let me know in the comments for real. Um, and I just think that there's opportunity out there, right? If I go back and think about what our current reality is, right? Um, those tariffs have been in the news before Trump took office, right? So you have an idea of what was going to happen, right? There's nobody that's surprised about these tariffs, right? Um, and I understand that they consumer goods and things like that, it definitely will have an impact, no question, right? I know the markets are reacting in all kinds of crazy ways. I get it, right? But as companies lose money, they're looking for ways to kind of save money, right? They're looking for ways to kind of deal with um, this uncertainty, right? And I'm curious how you can look at that because the market's reacting a certain way. The company is being impacted by how the market is reacting, right? And so that means that leaders across these across these organizations are bracing. Some of them are preparing, right? For kind of disaster to happen. And you, right? The truth is, uncertainty really doesn't break people. Well, uncertainty breaks a lot of people, let's say it that way, right? But that shouldn't be the case for you. Like, if you're really truly an agilist at heart, it should reveal the best in you for this, right? I certainly wish I was done with this PhD right now, because if I was done with this PhD right now, I know I'd be trying to clock some real good opportunities in terms of leadership and team effectiveness. Because the more I can make teams and leaders effectiveness, the more money they get to save. You understand where I'm coming from? So I think there's opportunities out here that we're just not wrapping our head around, right? And so for me, as I think about it, right? And I get it. And Patrick said something that's really important here, and I want to throw that up here so that we understand, right? Um, you know, Tariffs hit more of the physical items, right? So helping companies with reshaping their production and supply chains is one can take advantage. Absolutely, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm thinking, right? And so for these organizations that are being hit in certain ways, how do we help them establish change in a way that's going to help them to be able to survive this situation? Right. And so that's exactly when Patrick says that, that's exactly how we should be thinking, right? As a coach, right, developing psychologically safe environments, right? Businesses will need to be more agile, right? So I agree with those things, right? And so it's really truly a psychologically unsafe environment right now for many people, right? You think about the folks in the government, right? And with the government's is another example that's not nothing to do with the tariffs, but the government is a good example because how is the government going to get those efficiencies that allows those people to remain out of work? They don't have them in there today. So, I remember Mark Cuban, when they fired a group of people that was in some major security thing, he said, start a business. Because all you're going to end up doing is consulting back with the organization. So just start a business and we'll just make a business as a group. I'll help fund you. And, we'll just, in a few months when they realize that they don't have the knowledge, they'll just hire us back in. But they'll hire you back in as a consultant and you can make more money, right? And so I'm just like, that's great because we should be saying to ourselves, right? Um, Fear is a trigger, man. You have to. I don't know how else you think about it, right? Fear is a trigger. It's not a stop sign. Okay, So if fear is a trigger and it's not a stop sign, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You understand? It's kind of one of those things, man. I spent so much time in this PhD, right? So I'm spending, it's costing me money. I'm spending so much time in this PhD, and I'm so close, right? I got maybe a year to go. That this is not something if it's still going on, I'm definitely going to take advantage of it, right? But the idea is, I'm going to start looking into this at this point because the logic here, if fear is the trigger, you know, in 2008 happened and the housing thing just blew up, right? People that looked at fear as a trigger and not as a stop sign at that point, they're millionaires now because they took advantage of the opportunities that existed, right? And so if fear is the trigger, then what I'm really saying to you is fear is your fuel. Utilize this fear as your fuel, right? If you utilize this fear as your fuel, you are doing something that could change your entire world, change generations for you. You feel me? Like, I don't know how to better say it, and I'm throwing this out here now because I think there's enough money for all of us to make. And okay, and here's what I'm betting on so you all understand. I do not believe that the United States of America is about to go away, right? So 3, 4 years from now, when there's another president, regardless who's the president, right, we're going to be dealing with something, right? Either turn back from some of this stuff or more of this stuff, right? It's going to be something like that, right? And so for me, this is the catalyst to keep us moving, right? And so I'm just like, hmm, hmm, hmm. Like, for real, wait a minute. So if we're the agilists that we're supposed to be, and our mindset's supposed to be in its place, then what we should be doing is something really interesting. We should be spotting this fear. Like, okay, there's fear. I see fear walking past me. I see it walking past me. I see it dead smack in front of me. I see it right over there in the corner, right? Hey, Sharon, how you doing? I see this fear, right? You know, when I see this fear, man, what I'm thinking to myself is that fear is, uh-oh, time to shift my strategy. Time to switch my strategy up so I can take advantage of the uncertainty. Now, here's the deal, y'all. I'm not telling you to take advantage of people. Okay. I'm really not saying that, right? I'm not saying to be a criminal here, right? I'm not saying that, right? Um, Patrick says it again, right? You are hearing me, Patrick, right? Seeking opportunity amidst the chaos and uncertainty. You should always find areas that need something, right? That need something. And it's gonna be the people that figure out that thing right there that are gonna turn this into a financial whirlwind for themselves. Why can't that be you is my question. Like, legitimately, why can't it be you? Now, I could be crazy in thinking what I'm thinking, right? But I literally thought about this yesterday, y'all. Like, it's Monday today, the 14th, and I literally thought about this on the 13th. I'm sitting there on the couch and I'm just like, dang, we still, and just turned on the TV for a hot second. And it was just like, we still talking about tariffs? Huh? I thought they was in, they was out, they was in. I don't know what's going on because I'm not watching the television like that. I don't watch news like that, right? I'm busy writing my dissertation, right? So I'm just deep involved in the dissertation, right? And so I'm not seeing this stuff, y'all. But like when I heard this, look, y'all, for real, my mind just went boom like this. It just literally that's what happened to me yesterday. So I was just like, I need to have a show. Like, I need to have a show because I need to tell y'all the same thing because maybe y'all will get motivated to go ahead and look for these opportunities, right? And we can capitalize on it. You feel me? I could be, I'm not blowing smoke for real, right? I'm not blowing smoke at all. Hey, Gillian, how you doing, right? But I'm telling you, man, I turned that TV on and I didn't even have it on long. And I'm just like, but I thought we be, I'm lost in the sauce with this TV stuff, right? Or what's happening in the world right now because I'm like deep involved in this stuff, in my stuff, my work stuff, right? And so, like for real, when I spot the fear, to me, that's a time to shift my strategy, right? And my statement is, you should be leading from your vision and not from reacting. You understand? That's what you should be doing, like legitimately. Like I can't put it any other way. Miss White, how you doing? What's going on, CT? I'm just saying to you, I could be crazy, but I don't think I'm crazy, y'all. In terms of this, you feel me? I don't think I'm crazy. I mean, I- hey, go in the comments and tell me, do you think there's opportunity out there? Like, legitimately, drop it in the comments. If you don't think there's opportunity, say no, right? But just let me know, do you think there's opportunity with all of this uncertainty that's happening, right? Just drop it in the comments. Because I just confirm it for me because I may be missing something. What am I missing, y'all? Let me know what am I missing. What am I missing, y'all? I have no clue. Y'all, as you know, I'll say this like I have done in the past. If you like the content here, do me a favor, subscribe, click the like button. I'm assuming that everybody here is already subscribed. So click that like button. People are going to see it later. So do your thing, right? If you are on LinkedIn, I would say to you, go over to YouTube. Join us over on YouTube. That's where we're having the bigger conversation at. So go over on YouTube and join us there. I'll make sure I drop the link in the chat on LinkedIn so you can come on over there. But I think you should join us over there on LinkedIn, right? On YouTube, I should say. So let me drop that over there so you all have it. So I'm not. I mean, I'm not done with this, right? I just gotta keep. I just gotta see if I'm crazy, y'all, because there's no way I'm crazy when I see in the news us still talking about tariffs and people still shook. Like people still really shook. Like Hood 101, that means that they're scared and they have fear, right? So it's just one of those things where I think you need to think about this for a second, right? You need to think about this, right? Um, so let me just riff on this for a second because I need to make sure I understand, right? Yeah, and Sharon, I think that's exactly what it is. Clients are stressing more um, than anybody else, right? There's tons and tons of uncertainty, right? If there's tons of uncertainty, there's opportunity in that, man. For real. There's opportunity, in that period. And like Patrick says, definitely lots of opportunity. You just need to have a minimal risk approach to dive in. But the thing is that what's crazy, Patrick, can you tell me if I'm crazy on this? Don't us as agilists, don't we try to do minimal things to get something to happen? Like, isn't that our whole stick? Like, that's our whole thing, isn't it? I don't understand. So I don't understand how many of us don't see the opportunity. Like, we should have waves of people that see this as an opportunity. I mean, I could be crazy, but that's what I'm thinking. You know, man. So, my thought process, and again, you tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm wrong, right? I think there's a ripple effect to these tariffs. So when Sharon said that my clients are spooked, they're spooked, right? There's a ripple effect to these tariffs, right? There will be, for companies that are directly impacted, there will be costs associated with that and delivery impacts. We talked about supply chain, those kind of things, right? Um, Client and team uncertainty. Sharon mentioned team uncertainty. Patrick mentioned supply chains and things of that nature. Those things are being impacted. Investors, think about the companies that's losing billions of dollars. Do you think they're gonna take those billions of dollars really truly out of the investors' hands? Or you think they're going to start laying some people off and finding ways to get things done much quicker, much faster, in a cheaper way? Now, remember, for a lot of us, you got to remember something really very interesting. Most of us work, a lot of y'all here work within IT. Even the other parts of the organization that you might work in are cost centers. They're cost centers, right? They are places where it's only really expenses. They're only an expense. That's all they really are. So now I'm like, our objective here, and Patrick said it, cleanly, right? Yes, we do. We max value for minimal effort, right? That's what we do. So if I got folks trying to save costs, trying to figure out how delivery is going to be impacted, then those are things that we should be kind of jumping through the hoops on because this is our expertise, y'all. Our expertise really fits in that sweet spot, y'all. I mean, don't it? Don't our expertise fit in that sweet spot? Or am I crazy? Man, I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. I've had, today I've had nothing but, presentations, meetings, classes. My whole day has been full. So I haven't had a real opportunity to think about this, and all my week will be full after having full last weeks and everything else like that, right? You know, One of the things that you can do if you're a coach or a scrum master right now, or you're working with people, is you definitely can try to anchor those people into some level of clarity. So you can do that, right? So that's an easy thing that you can do, but I don't think that I think that that's what you just would naturally do as a person working with folks, right? But I think this is much bigger than that. I think it's much bigger than you anchoring people into them being clear, anchoring them to for them to be more secure. I think there's bigger opportunity out there for those that can take advantage of it. I think there's much bigger opportunity for those that can take advantage of it, right? You know, it's one of those things where, when I think about the things that are, when I think about the things that people want to hear, okay? Just the things that people want to hear, right? Before I even say that, Sharon says exactly, telecom industry is spooked or cautious to spend, right? But they got them people in there, right? They got them people in there, right? And they definitely would spend to save money, right? And trust me, they're going to do that sooner or later, right? So yeah, everybody's spooked in terms of doing a lot of things. But man, when I think about the language that all these folks need to hear, right? Investors, they want transparency and vision, right? I'm not saying you're working directly with investors or anything like that, but if you're in the stock market, things like that, that's what investors are looking for, right? Seriously. Your teams need confidence and purpose, right? They need that. And then clients, they probably need reassurance and continuity because they don't want to go out of business, y'all. They don't want to go out of business. Now, you tell me who can speak all of those languages to clients, teams, and investors. I mean, you might speak to your clients to the investors, right? But who can speak all those languages? Is it not us? Like all of us should have a PhD in the things that we do that actually reassures, continues with continuity, builds confidence, purpose, transparency, and vision. These are things that naturally occur in our world. Like legitimately. We speak all those languages. We speak these languages fluently, y'all. Something wrong with me? Do we not speak these languages fluently? Let me move this camera off a little bit. I don't have myself framed up right. But do you understand where I'm coming from? Do we speak these languages fluently? I think we do, man. I could be crazy. I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think I'm crazy at all. But I think we do speak these languages fluently. Let me, you feel me? I could be wrong when I'm thinking this, but I don't think I'm wrong. Right? I don't think I'm wrong, y'all. I really don't. I really don't think I'm wrong in terms of this. Um, I'm thinking to myself, if me, okay, here's me, right? So me, I'm gonna speak from my perspective for a moment. Because here's how I'm thinking, and I'm gonna speak aloud to y'all, and you take this, right? Take advantage of this, right? Um, I'm thinking as a business, right? One of the things that I know that I need to do, if I'm going to kind of approach this situation beyond just finding where the opportunities at. I'm talking about when I find the opportunity, right? I need to reaffirm what my value proposition is, what my value to them is. Okay. I need to reaffirm that. So I'm confident in it, but that I make sure that they clearly understand the business impact that I could have for them, right? And when I say business impact, I'm obviously going to be speaking in terms of results, right? I think as a coach, you should be thinking in terms of results that you can help bring to someone or to a group of people or whatever that's going to be. So I'm thinking in terms of business impact, right? How do I impact productivity? How do I impact this? How do I impact that, right? Um, so when I'm thinking about my value that I can offer, I'm gonna be thinking of those things in terms of business impact. I will also be trying to frame those things up in terms of value sources like market value, you know, risk reduction. Um, yeah, I'm thinking those two things, right? But here's the deal. That just points me toward return on investment, um, because there's a cost savings element to this, and people that are afraid to spend, there's other ways to save money. um, there will be people that will find opportunities out there, and that may be more toward revenue. And so now I'm finding ways to position myself. So, and then when I do find an opportunity, I can present that opportunity in a way where I can show them how, yeah, if you don't, if you don't, I was about to curse y'all, if you don't F with me, then you're not going to get 10x the value. Like I'm about to 10x, I'm about to give you 10x value. You understand? Like, am I speaking crazy here, y'all? Am I? That's what I'm thinking, right? I mean, this is off the top of my head. That's how I'm thinking, right? And obviously, my cost, I want them to get 10x value out of whatever I cost, right? Um, and so for me, how can I present it to them where it's a no-brainer, right? So I'm reaffirming to myself my value position. So and then they can make like a no-brainer type of decision. Feel me? That makes me comfortable, right? Does that make sense, everybody? Let me know in the comments. Just throw a yes out there, thumbs up, whatever it is, right? Um, the other thing that I need to do is when I start finding opportunities like this, I need to listen. Active listening is important, right? Because I need to listen deeply to what's going on. And when I say listen, I'm thinking to myself like I'm putting my head on the ground and listening for the vibrations that are associated with the fears. Does that make sense? Listening for the vibrations that are associated with the free fears, because that'll give me some sonic direction on where I should be looking for the opportunities. And as I listen for these things, right, I learn as well along the way. And me learning along the way is going to allow me to listen deeper and longer and more toward more opportunities, right? And then whenever I see that an opportunity exists, I need to take really bold action. I'm going to take really bold and really visible action. That's what I'm going to do, right? Um, because I don't want nobody to beat me to it. You feel me? If they're gonna pay me, here's the deal. If I get too much work, y'all, I'm gonna start passing it off to y'all. Just make sure you're ready, okay? That's crazy, ain't it? It's crazy. But it's true, man. It's true. I don't have no problem getting paid off you. I'm just saying. But I make sure you paid well though. Anyway, I want us all to make good money, right? And so, realistically, if you're gonna be a leader in this, you gotta be one of the first movers. Hate to say it. You got to be one of the first movers. You can't be the last mover, right? And second is the second one is the first one that missed the opportunity. Like for real. Like I wish I could say it. I'm not trying to really be nice here, right? Second is the first one who missed is the first to miss the opportunity, right? So for me, you got to be a leader in this. You got to be a first mover, right? To take advantage of these things, right? Which I believe that in this world that we exist in, you got all the tools, man. How do you not have the tools? Like you got all the tools that you need. You understand? Like this is crazy. I don't understand. The way this show normally works is I'm supposed to talk for 15 minutes, and I'm talking way over that, y'all. So I'm gonna stop this in just a second because I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. Do y'all understand where I'm coming from? Is this valuable for you? Because I don't have any notes prepared. I'm just talking about what I'm thinking, right? And again, I could be thinking wrong. And understand, I am not supporting any political party in any kind of way. None of this is about that. I'm not saying anything bad about anybody's actions or whatsoever. I'm not at all. This is not political to me at all. I'm not over here debating the value of DEI or no DEI. I don't care. There's opportunity in that too. You understand? There really, really is. So I'm just like, where's the opportunity yet so I can take advantage of it? That's all I'm really pointing toward, y'all, which doesn't have a political lean to it whatsoever. I don't care about your politics at this point. I don't care about your politics. 100 years from now, Republicans and Democrats may not exist. The parties may flip. They flipped before. So I'm not worried about this. But 100 years from now, I would love for you to be in a position where your great grandkids are benefiting from the things that you've done in this moment. Is that not a strong statement? My question for you is, do you want, like, I think I need you to, like, say it to yourself, right? I think you need to throw in the comments that you truly do want your great grandkids to benefit from the opportunity you take advantage of today. Like, do me a favor, throw that in the chat. Like, as a real statement to yourself, who do you want to benefit 4 or 5 generations from now? I don't care if you want society to benefit in some kind of way. Just 4 to 5 generations from now, who do you really want to benefit from the opportunity that you're taking advantage of today? Speak that into existence, y'all, because I need y'all to take some action, man. For real. I know I am. I need y'all to do it though. Because when I'm on the boat celebrating, I want y'all to be on the boat too. The boat ain't gonna wait for you though. Like, just know that the boat is not going to wait for you. Do you understand? The boat is not going to wait for you. Am I crazy, man? I'm just thinking about this stuff, man. I will not turn on the news very often because all I keep seeing in the news is opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. Is that ridiculous? Should I be thinking like that? Like, I don't know. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. You feel me? That's what I like, Patrick. Patrick said generations of his folks, right? I want generations of your folks to benefit. I really do. Like, I don't see why in this moment, in the next few years, why you couldn't put yourself in a position where generations of your people couldn't benefit from this moment in time. From this moment in time. Thank you, Eric, for affirming that for me, man. I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think it's crazy at all. I don't think it's crazy at all, right? When we have stock market dips that happen like this, people buy the people that see it as an opportunity, they buy in, don't they? They buy in. They don't lock in their losses, they buy in. They double down. You understand? I mean, we may have a housing crisis at some point. People gonna double down, you know? So I'm over here like, whoa, man, what can we do to make this all work and happen? Right? So anyway. I need to stop this because now I feel like I'm preaching now. I don't feel like preaching to y'all. That's not what I came here to do. I didn't come here to do that, right? So here's the deal, right? Um, I want to, we haven't been here in a while. I do want to leave room for questions, right? So let's talk about Scrum, Agile, business, this tariff stuff. What kind of questions do you all have, right? What kind of questions do you all have? It's been a little bit of time. I'm gonna come back and see you guys more regularly because now this thing got me excited and I like seeing y'all anyway, right? I love this, Miss White. There you go. Fortunes are made during times like these. Like, as Patrick said, generations could benefit. Generations could benefit. You know, generations could benefit, right? Right? Hold on. Sorry about sorry about that. My voice is done for today. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, that was crazy. I'm just getting my voice mask crazy, right? It'll get back to normal. I'm just getting over COVID, like for real. So I got my little throat all whacked out, but I've been doing this all day. Anyway, um, so yeah, sorry about those coughs, but man, y'all, I don't know how many of us don't see this as an opportunity. Like seriously, I don't know. Like for real, my voice is gone out a little bit, but you all still can hear me, right? Because I see the little vocal thing going up. But I mean, I don't know how we don't see this as an opportunity, y'all. I don't. Like I'm about to be upset at people. You understand? Because yeah, yeah, Shannon, I think that's right, right? I'm glad, right, to be able to provide this. And I think I need to come back here and get this more to y'all, right? For real, just come back here regularly. We need to have these conversations because, again, I want y'all on the boat with me. I don't want y'all to be on the land talking about, hey, man, if I'd have taken advantage of the opportunity, like for real. That goes without any joke to it, right? Eric says, "Hey, that's what we need." I just had a conversation this morning, right? You should be having conversations all over the place, looking for those opportunities. Like seriously, I've been training all day, y'all, for real. You know, since like 8 this morning. So I've been in, man. I've been in all the way through the evening, right? So, but this is what I do. I ain't about to stop doing it. I haven't worked on my dissertation today at all. So I feel a little bit bad about that. But other than that, man, these are the best of times and the worst of times. Somebody said that someplace, right? The best of times and the worst of times, right? And if it's the best of times and the worst of times, don't let it be the worst of times for you. Let the story be that you turn to worst of times into the best of times. I'm not talking all this religious stuff here to you either, right? I'm not saying, depend on God to do it for you. I think you need to take action. I think you need to take massive action. Could be wrong, right? I could be wrong, right? Um, you know, I'm definitely gonna change some things up. Matter of fact, I'm making a decision right now. I'm about to make some major changes, right? Because I want a position to take advantage of certain things that I know is gonna happen. Um, and I'm gonna start positioning myself to do that right now. We need to keep having these conversations, y'all. Like, this is no joke. This is not for us to be sitting down on our laurels and not taking advantage of these things. No way. No way. I refuse to let myself do it. Do you hold yourself accountable like that? I mean, are you actually holding yourself accountable to these opportunities at this point? That's a real question. And if you're not doing that right now, when you gonna start doing it is the question. When you gonna start finding or looking for these opportunities? That's my question for you. Throw it in the comments. When you gonna start looking for these opportunities, y'all? I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm serious, right? For real. I'm so serious. I wish, yeah, man, it's time to take action, y'all. I just don't know how else to put it. Um, so anyway, questions and stuff like that, I need to allow y'all to ask. So the way this works with the questions, you throw your questions in the comments. You're welcome to come in live on the show. I haven't set that up on the way this thing looks, so it would look funny for us tonight. But you're welcome to join us on the show live, or you can go ahead and actually throw something in the comments. I see a question out there, but if you have any other questions, any other statements about this topic, please, please, please go ahead and drop them. Drop them in the chat. Um, Sharon says, "Is this the right time to pivot from Scrum Master to Agile Coach?" I'm going to tell you right now, Sharon, you're already an Agile Coach. Stop pretending like you're not. It don't matter what the title is. Go get you paid. Go get yourself paid more money. Right? Period. Right? So I'm going to say to you right now, you are already an agile coach. If you're asking that question about, is this the right time to pivot? You're already an agile coach. Just go do it now. Does that make sense, everybody? You understand what I'm saying? We prepare for all these things, and there's not a lot of preparation that we got to do. If you've gone through a few teams and you've done what you need to do, you have enough experience to be more senior than most people. You got to remember that a lot of people have less than 3 years in this agile thing. Yeah, a lot of people, right? So, yeah, you're an agile coach already. Okay. So really, really important, right? Um, let's see. I got a great talk, big guy. Shine the light on the opportunity and help spark the thinking. Hey, man, Tupac said, if he could spark the brain, right? And that's if I can spark the brain, hmm, I just would love to see us all win. I'd love to see us all win. My folks here could win, boy, that would be, that'd be so special for me. I'd feel so good. You know how proud I am of Bearded Eagle alumni, especially. It's really crazy, right? There we go. He said Chairman Patrick. I like it. Chairman Patrick. I'm gonna have to call Chairman Patrick CP. CP. What's up, CP? Chairman Patrick. I like it. I like it. I like it. And here's the deal. I'm good with. I think that's a good idea. CT working toward additional certifications. I think those are all good things, right? But I also just want to say to you, just don't make it so you're only doing that. Find a way to take advantage of these opportunities. Just find a way to take advantage of these opportunities seriously. You can do that. You get that PMP as well, but just look for them because you may find a little nugget. You find a little nugget, that little nugget could change your life, man. At some point for me, Scrum was a little nugget, and I dove in and it changed my life. It was an opportunity that I took advantage of in a shaky time, legitimately, legitimately. I love it. So there's no reason why you can't. So you should, you should. So any other questions, y'all? Any other questions? Because I don't, you know, I'm over here just kind of like going in enough. Hopefully I didn't go in too much and I scared some of y'all away. Hopefully that's not the case, right? There may be some students from my class this week here. If you're a student in my class this week, say hi. Okay, don't be afraid. We're family here. Okay? I consider this to be my family, so you all understand. Do y'all know that I think of y'all as family? Do you know that I think of you as family? I really do. I really do. I agree. I agree completely what CP says here, what Patrick says. It's less about certification, it's much about what you already know. Leverage your existing knowledge to find an opening and snatch it. I agree with that. I agree with that, right? I agree with that, right? You can get as many, I was talking to somebody last week. You get as many certifications as you want to, and somebody's always going to find something wrong, you know? And then here's the crazy thing. There are people out here with no certifications making more money than all of us. Maybe I'm gonna be on that tonight. Trust me. So thank you, thank you. Lemon and water cleanse the vocal. Thank you. I'll be on that tonight. I have lemon. I'll have some water with. Trust me, I'm gonna do that tonight. So thank you. Always love the help. Right? Eric's taking it all in. I'm here. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So I'm just saying, y'all. Seriously, I just think these opportunities out here are things that I think that they're just. I just think that this season we won't see another season like this for some time. Then you add to it AI and all these other changes that are going on. Gosh, man. Gosh, like for real. For real. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm not gonna be a shoulda, woulda, coulda. I hope you don't be a shoulda, woulda, coulda too. Anyway, So, what else is going on with y'all? Let me talk to you about that, right? Because I don't see any questions. What else is going on? Anything special happening for you this week? Talk to me. Drop it in the comments. Love to hear that kind of stuff. Anything you've been successful with in the past couple months? Are y'all ready to get back to the grind on the show, y'all? Let me know. Like, seriously. Do we need to get back to the grind on the show? Because y'all done got me motivated now. Like, y'all have me motivated right now. Do you understand? I'm excited once again. Now, I feel like I need to spend some time here because I think you can help me, help me keep motivated about my dissertation. For real. I need help too. I need help too. I'm just letting you know I need help too. That's so crazy. Oh man. Yeah, it's the time to get back to it, y'all. Yeah, definitely it's time to get back to it. And with all this craziness that's going on, man, it's just so much stuff we can talk about, right? I'm at the point now where I'm like, how can we use this Agile and Scrum and all the stuff that we know to really just have impacts on this crazy stuff that's happening in the world right now, right? I'm really curious about it. I am really amazingly curious about it. It's ridiculous how curious I am. Yeah, we're gonna get back to it, man. We got to get back to it because I missed y'all. I really did. I won't be all extra sentimental here because I need to be hard. Brothers are allowed to be emotional too, right? Anyway, that is crazy. That's great, but I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. So it looks like we mostly are good here, y'all. So I'm not gonna hold us here because if you don't have any questions and you ain't telling me about what's going on with you, I can let you get back to it, and then I'll go ahead and set up something for next week, and let's keep the conversation going. But I need y'all to start making some moves for real. Do not sit stagnant in this time. Please don't. Please don't. I don't want you know, everybody else taking the opportunity, taking advantage of these opportunities that we're not. Like, I don't want that. That would not be my preference, if that makes sense. I don't want to see that happen to any of us. I could be crazy thinking like that, but that's how I think. Can't even help it, right? So on that note, I think that's about it, y'all. I think we're good to go. So we're going a little bit less time, but hey, man, my throat ain't acting right, so I can't do a whole lot of talking. And y'all don't want to talk to me no more. I think y'all got what you needed. Did you get, let me ask a question. Did you get what you need tonight? Did you get what you need tonight? That's my real big question. If you did, throw it in the comments, right? Because that's what I need to hear from you, right? You got what you needed tonight. Hopefully that means you're charged up. Always something interesting going on. The problem is it's hard to plan out a weekend ahead because news is changing every day. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Appreciate it, Patrick. I'm glad it was on the money for today. Man, I just thought, and I came up with this yesterday, man, for real. I'm super excited. So yes, I'm glad it was helpful. Good gems in here. That's a good thing. The lemon and water, man. I'm gonna do that. Trust me. There we go with a yes. No problem with the encouragement. You're welcome. Yes, indeed. Look, y'all, I'm gonna come back here next week or the week after, and we're gonna continue this conversation. I'll set something up, be good to go. Other than that, you all enjoy the rest of your week, right? I'm gonna make sure that I get this voice back right so that I can be good to go for tomorrow's class. But I'm gonna get something out there for next week. You all look for it, you'll see it coming, and then I don't know what the topic is gonna be. I may just put a general topic out there and just update it later. Let's call it podcast number 112 or something and see what's up. But other than that, I'm glad that the brain is woken up. I'm glad that you're actively thinking about find those opportunities, y'all. Really do. Other than that, I will see you all on this journey, right? On this journey. Other than that, y'all, peace. Have a good one. I will talk to everybody sometime soon. All right. I'll see y'all later. Good night.